Hey everyone, welcome to part 4 of my Create Mod Basics series. In this episode, we're going to cover some things like harvesters, mechanical saws, drills, and plows. So to showcase this, I've built 3 Autofarms, and I'm going to show you how to make them, I'm going to build them, I'm going to show you what you need, and of course, I'm going to provide the schematics. So first things first, this is the Autofarm for wheat. So what this thing is, it's a bunch of harvesters, and these harvesters, what they'll do is they'll harvest the mature crops and they'll automatically replant whatever was there in its place. Since it's part of a contraption, whatever it picks up is going to go in this chest right here. That's a bit of a rendering issue, but hey, that's the price we pay to get shaders. So anyways, there's just one problem, and the problem is that, well, you can't get in the chest. That's right, you can't get inside of the chest of a moving contraption. And by the way, this whole thing is just a windmill, and I'm using the motion of the windmill, not the stress units that it creates. Alright, so how do we get at the contents of this chest? Well, luckily there's a block called the portable storage interface, and what this portable storage interface does is, well, when a portable storage interface lines up with one in a contraption, it's going to automatically take what is in that contraption. So right now, we just have some seeds in here. Set it up so the wheat comes out. Let me break that so we don't lose any. Alright, so you see all the wheat and all the seeds are coming in from the contraption. So we got 2 weeds. So this farm is pretty slow. It doesn't matter though, because the bottleneck is not the speed of the windmill. The bottleneck is how fast the crops grow. So this will just go around. It does not require any sort of intervention. And you can just set it, AFK, and forget it, and you'll get all the wheat you need. Alright, so these are the materials you're going to need to make the auto farm. You're going to need a windmill bearing, 8 pieces of wool or sail, doesn't matter what color they are, 5 mechanical harvesters, 2 portable storage interfaces, a hopper, and 4 chests. So how do we build this thing? Well, first we'll find the middle, and I'll place our first wool block there. So unfortunately, we will have to get rid of this wheat, so goodbye. We'll fix that later. So you can see there's 5 pieces of wool here. I'm going to go ahead and place the windmill bearing here. Just right click that with my wrench to rotate it to the proper orientation. And well, we can place our other 3 wool blocks. So that gives us the 8 minimum that is required for a windmill. We're going to put our portable storage interface right here. And it doesn't matter how exactly you do it, but we'll put our chest like this. What we're going to need to do is we're going to place our output chests here. We will put the hopper like this and the portable storage interface. I'll put it this way. You'll actually need 4 chest blocks, not 2. Okay. So last of all, we have to glue this together. Make sure not to glue the bearing, otherwise it's not going to like that. I'm going to break this just to be able to get a better angle on here. Alright, and don't forget to add the chest. Alright, now what's going to happen is when I right click this bearing, it's going to move and it's going to start harvesting. Okay, so it connected the first time because they lined up, even though there was nothing in it. So now what I'll do is I'll just use the hoe and plant some more seeds where we broke them, where we broke the crops in order to place the wool blocks. There we go. So once you set this up, you should not have to do anything else. This is just going to go on forever. Oh, okay. We forgot something. We forgot something very important. We forgot the harvesters. So let's fix that. How did I forget that? So we'll just put the harvesters on like this. And we'll also glue those on. Okay, there we go. So that's gonna connect. And now since this is always running, well, it's not gonna destroy the crops like it did the first time. Alright, now these portable storage interfaces are about to line up, and when they do, they will connect to each other. So we're gonna see whatever was in there is gonna get transferred to this output chest. So our next stop is the tree farm. So before we start, I'm going to show you guys how saws work. So I have a saw right here, and it's connected to a hand crank, and I'm just going to turn it. And what's gonna happen is that it's gonna chop down that tree. So we just cut down the base and everything falls down. So we don't have to chop everything up, grab the leaves or anything. Everything that is in there will just fall down. Awesome. So here I have a farm set up, and you can see this has been running for, I don't know how long, maybe an hour or two. This produces quite a bit of wood. I'm surprised at the output of this. So let's have a look at how this works. So this is another sail contraption, and we have on, oh, tree just grew. I mean, the tree, it's a lot of trees, so that's to be expected. All right, so there's a bunch of saws here, and they just go around and they chop down the trees. They don't touch the saplings, but they do not auto plant. So they're not like the harvesters. You actually have to plant yourself. So how we do that is with these deployers right here. There's trees coming up everywhere. So you can see I have 5 deployers and 4 saws. And these are just planting the saplings as it goes around. And you'll notice here I have different kinds of saplings. You can set it up however you want. I have 4 different types. So to build our tree farm, we're gonna need a windmill bearing, 8 sails or wool blocks, 4 mechanical saws, 5 deployers, saplings of whatever tree you want to grow, 2 portable storage interfaces, a hopper, and 3 chests. Alright, so because of space considerations, we're actually going to place 2 sails underground. Alright. I'm going to have a deployer like this, and you can just use the wrench to rotate that however you want. We'll put our bearing up here. So we'll place our 5 deployers like that. And we're also going to place our 4 saws with the same orientation. Alright, so we already have 2 saw blocks down there, so we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 more up here, because we need 8 total. And now we're going to go ahead and put a chest here, and we're going to put our portable storage interface there. Got our chest, hopper, and we're gonna put the last portable storage interface right here on top of the hopper. So to glue everything together, we're gonna grab all these. We're gonna grab the deployer side of the bearing and then the mechanical saw side of the bearing. And don't forget the sails down here. Okay. Now what we have to do is we have to put the saplings in the deployers. So we're gonna go ahead and put them in the filter slot. So whatever sapling you place on the outer deployers, there's gonna be more of those, and whatever's on the inside, there's gonna be less of those. So let's just make sure everything is set to use. We don't want to attack. Alright, so we can fill up this dirt here. We don't need to have this open anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our saplings in here. And before we start off, we're going to break this portable storage interface. Because if we don't do that, what's going to happen is it's going to discard all of the saplings. And it won't be able to plant any. So now it's going around initially. It's actually backwards. So now it's going around initially and it's planting the saplings. I'll put back the portable storage interface so that we can get our wood once it actually starts cutting down the trees. Alright, so all the leftover saplings have been redeposited into this chest. So there's a little particularity of this design, is that it's only going to be able to place saplings when it actually cuts them. But it seems to work alright because it's always cutting them and getting new saplings before it's depositing them. So it seems to be working alright. I don't know if this will eventually run out. But it seems to be working quite well. And now it's depositing the wood that it chopped down. So the last thing we're going to be looking at is the cobble farm. So this thing is useful not only for producing cobble, but also as a part of things like iron generators and andesite generators. So this uses the concept of lava falling on top of water, which produces stone, and the drills simply mine through the stone. And you can see this produces a truly massive amount of cobble. I filled up this double chest in only a couple of hours. So this works with a windmill. So I've decided to go for a windmill that uses 64 pieces of sail, which we're currently running at 146 RPM, and we're using 99% of our stress capacity. The speed at which the windmill turns does have an effect on how much cobble we produce. So we just get the power from the windmill and we send it to these drills. So the direction does not matter. You can just put these cogs and they will cut through the cobble. I've set up some hoppers down here to go to this chest. You can do it, you can do it however you want. You can put water, you can put a conveyor belt. I did this because, well, it was the quickest way. I also put these signs here to stop the water from falling down. So I used glass to surround it because I like to be able to see what's happening. I think it's cool to see the water and the lava and everything breaking. You can use whatever you want. So these are the materials that you're going to need to build the cobble generator. You'll need a windmill bearing, 64 sails, a vertical gearbox, a rotation speed controller, a large cogwheel, 7 cogwheels, 7 mechanical drills, a bucket of water, a bucket of lava, 2 chests, 7 signs, 7 hoppers, and 29 pieces of glass. So what we've got is an 11 long hole. We're going to go ahead and place 7 signs, place our drills, and our cogwheels, and place our speed controller, along with our vertical gearbox, and our windmill bearing. We'll also need a stone block or any other block that we have lying around. Alright, so now we'll place our sails on the windmill. We're gonna do 8 tall. We'll glue it up and then we'll repeat for the other sides. And we'll glue everything up. And we'll start this. So we're able to get up to 146 RPM. Alright, so now let's place our glass. We can place our water. And we can also place our lava. So now, for the lava, be sure to place it in the middle because it'll only flow 3 to either side. Okay, let's turn off the bearing. And I think that'll let the lava flow. Okay, don't do what I did. So what we're gonna do to make sure this works, we're gonna place our water initially. And then what we're gonna do is we have to cover that up. So we're gonna place glass here on the top. And that'll prevent the lava from turning our source block into cobble. And we'll just wait for this lava to flow. Alright, perfect. So now we can turn our windmill back on. And we are in business. Alright, so now to collect all this. Tunnel down here. We're gonna go down a bit further. And we're gonna get our hoppers. So all we have to do is place our chests here. And then we just make a line of hoppers. So this can be water if you want, this can be conveyors. I'm just doing with hoppers, and there we have it. This is our cobble farm. So this produces a lot of cobble. Let's see what we're getting. I mean, we already have almost a stack, and this is the basis for iron farms and andesite farms. So, I mean, this is gonna be something probably that you're gonna build several times. Alright, so the last thing I want to show you guys is the mechanical plow. So there's not really a farm that I can make with this, but I set up a contraption so I can show you guys how it works. It's going to do a few things. First of all, it's going to plow the dirt, so it's going to have the same effect as if you used a hoe on the dirt. It's going to pick up anything that's connected to the dirt. So it's going to pick up this rail, and it's going to pick up this flower here. So let's see this. Alright, cool. So you'll notice that it left this flower here because it was on the tilled soil. So this will not harvest any crops. This will clear out the land. Alright, so another cool feature of plows is that if they hit an entity, they will send the entity flying and it won't harm them. Of course, when they land, well, that's another issue. And of course, lit TNT is also an entity.